Good morning to you, my dear brothers and sisters. In the Gospel of today, Jesus uses a beautiful image of the vine. Actually, when you look at the vine has been a beloved symbol of Israel. Throughout the Bible, it is used in several places to give different messages. In the prophet Isaiah chapter 5 verses 1 to 7, it is used to refer on the unresponsiveness of Israel, to say everything has been done to the vine and yet it produces wild grapes. In the prophet Ezekiel chapter 15, it is used also, God showing how he will destroy Jerusalem because they prove to be useless. Then coming to the New Testament, in the Gospel of Mark chapter 12 verses 1 to 12, it is used by Jesus to shame the irresponsible current leaders of Israel, the religious leaders, who did not do what they were supposed to do as people who are called to produce fruits for the kingdom, fruits for God. In the Gospel of today, Jesus uses it, and he uses it in this context. It is the context of the Last Supper, in that discourse on his way to Gethsemane. This is a very powerful image. He says, I am the true vine, and you are the branches. Remain in me. Abide in me. In this image, actually, as we are the branches that are holding on to the vine, it shows our dependence, our total dependence on Jesus as disciples. Whatever life we show comes from him. Whatever fruits we produce depend on that connectivity which we have with him. Without Jesus, the true vine, we are actually nothing. There is another aspect, though, when he talks of pruning. This is the aspect where in the life of a disciple we are shown that actually there is a fair share of trials and tribulations. It's not just a smooth ride. It comes at a cost. Even though the pruning brings pain to the vine, as one can imagine, and as we know, the trials and tribulations which we meet in life, it is not meant to destroy the vine, but it is meant to give it even more power, to have a lot of shoots coming out, and eventually to produce even more fruits. And our trials and tribulations serve that purpose, the purpose of strengthening us, the purpose of purifying us. As we will hear, like gold that is refined in fire. So through the trials and the tribulations, the persecutions, our faith is purified. Let us pray, therefore, dear brothers and sisters, that as the branches, we may realize that actually our well-being, that actually Our everything depends on Jesus. We draw life from Jesus. And this Jesus from which we draw life is a Jesus who is calling us, come to me, abide in me, make your home in me, and I will in turn make my home in you, he says in the gospel of today. He is a welcoming Jesus who welcomes us without looking at race, without looking at where we come from, without looking at our faults. He welcomes us because we are his brothers and sisters. May we find our way to him all the time. May we hold on to him. May we truly depend on him, so that every day of our lives, when we get up in the morning, we look to him. Throughout the day, we constantly check with him, especially in the decisions we make, so that whatever we do may be guided by him. It is when we totally depend on him that our lives show us to be his witnesses, show us to be his disciples. And when that time for pruning comes, let us pray that we may not fall away. Let us pray that we may not crumble, but that we may be strengthened, that we may be purified, that we may even become more intent on our being his disciples. Amen.